Hi everyone, welcome to Digging Through Your Stash Series A through Z, where I am playing along with Grace Tolman. She was very kind in letting me play along with her as she goes through the year using up things that start with the letters A through Z. So this video, and she's much further ahead than I am. I've kind of fallen behind, whatever, it doesn't matter. But this video will be D for me, which I'm going to use doilies. I think Grace is all the way like on I or something. She's doing a little bit better than me, but no problem. This has still been a lot of fun, and after I do this voiceover, I'm actually going to work on letter E. So doilies is something probably a lot of people have a lot of. I didn't buy too many doilies back then. I bought a few packs when I was putting together something where you have to make multiple of the same thing. So I bought a pack or two then, but really I don't have a ton of doilies, so I'm okay with that, but I'm happy to use them when I can. And I struggle with doilies because they are a circle, and if you guys have figured by now, I don't use circles a lot, so I need to try to, you know, step out of my comfort zone and use more circles. But one of the things I pulled here, and you can see it on my desk, is a sketch. So this is by Queen and Company, and this was again something from National Scrapbook Day, where they had this on their Facebook page. There you can basically see on the left hand side, I believe this is probably on their website as well, but they had 3 sketches for layouts, all using 6x6 paper. Now I'm going to use this larger paper here because it's a sketch. You can do whatever you want really with it. And I wanted this, well, I thought I wanted this larger size flower. I do think I might change my mind here in a minute, but it's because I cut it the wrong way. So I cut that small strip, and on the sketch it's supposed to be the green strip. And I didn't want that heavy pattern on the top, and I didn't really want to cut another piece of it, which it wouldn't have really mattered, right? I'm trying not to hoard. This is one collection that I've really had a lot of trouble actually using because I love it so much. It's like, which one do I use? So I have to really be careful and not save these papers. Anyways, what's cool is they give you all those cutting measurements, and then you just put the paper together. I kind of, with a strip that I'm going to add above this piece, I believe this has little tiny hearts on it. The other side of, so the photos basically, on the other side of the paper that I mounted the photos on is mini border strips. So I had these 2 little small strips left over. So this is kind of where I kind of do my own thing because I know this isn't the exact measurement that they have for the gray strip on the sketch, but I thought, otherwise I might not use these, so I might as well use them as that gray stripe. I hadn't picked anything else out yet, so this worked just fine for me. I do this layout. Anyways, I chose this layout because the circles on the sketch, I knew that I could place doilies instead of those circles. So that was the biggest thing why I chose this sketch. And then the photos are also 3.5 by 5 and not 3 by 4 as I think they are on the sketch. But I didn't want to cut down any more of my photos. These are some very, my daughter, I think this was 2004. These photos are from 2004, but they're so cute and they match this line so well. Here's another part where I almost forgot to add another strip in, so it might be easier to do this sketch if you cut all your papers first and have them all lined out, but I wasn't really sure which papers I wanted to go where, and I realized with my 6x6 that I'd already used some of it up, so the patterns that I really might have wanted to use, like that floral, I had already used them in the past, so it kind of wasn't working 100% the way I wanted to, but that's fine. I pulled out this border sheet because the other border sheets, again, were from the 6x6 pad, the back of those photos. So I've already used those up. So I thought maybe I would just cut. Again, this is not a 6x6 sheet of paper, but I don't really care. And I thought the stripes, I had trouble picking out which one. I wanted one that was thick enough to go in this spot, but one that the pattern would kind of go and not take too much. I really kind of wanted to use either the flowers or the mushrooms, but I just wasn't sure where else I was going with this you know, this page. So at this point, I didn't want to really use, again, I didn't want to use the good stuff. I admit it. Um, as much as I love this collection too, I find that the layouts I'm doing with them are simpler than I had thought they would be. This is a good example. This layout is going to be simple, and yet I'm going to add a lot of little embellishments to it. And so it's kind of throwing me for a loop a little bit, I think. But I'm really happy with how this layout turned out. The only thing, I can see why that they have 3x4, because a lot of the pattern paper gets covered up, which I'm okay with that because the photos, I do want my photos to stand out pretty big. I would say if you wanted to do this sketch, maybe add another inch so it's not 6 inches wide, maybe do 7 inches wide to go with larger photos, but it works just fine. The other thing I liked about adding the doilies, first of all, I'm adding that larger doily, and these are doilies that are by Doodlebug as well. And I don't know if they have them on their website, but I know that I bought them at a local craft store when I was making the item I needed to make. But one thing I like is that one on the right-hand side, I am going to glue it down so that it does go off the page. There's something about that that really, I think, gives it a little bit of interest and just kind of adds to the page. And it doesn't make it a full-on circle. And there's a large truck outside. I hope you can't hear that. I apologize. But anyways, I am going to add these peel-off stickers. I wasn't sure about which color I wanted to use, but I chose these sparkly pink ones because I mean, you can see they're so subtle that it just adds a little bit of something. And at this point, I only have them on the right-hand side, but I do eventually add a thinner strip because I think I used the thickest of those peel-offs on the right-hand side, so I think I used the thinnest on the left-hand side. Now I'm gluing down my photos, and I'm going to go ahead and glue down. Here's where I add the thinnest strip. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to glue down the doilies. That was the other thing I had a little bit of trouble with because I wanted to make sure, I don't mind if they stick up a little bit because once they're in the page protector, they're going to be fine. They're going to be glued down. But playing around with them, adding stuff on there, as far as my clusters go, was a little bit annoying because you guys know me. I like to, once I have a kind of a direction I'm going with my clusters, I just start gluing things down and I don't really look back, but it's okay, it works out. I am going to glue those two up there. At this point, I wasn't really thinking about the title or the journaling. I'm not even really going to do any journaling on this page. It's just pictures of my daughter. I don't feel like every layout absolutely has to have journaling, so I'm okay if some layouts don't. I do try to add journaling when I have a story. So, you know, like I said, if there's a few layouts that don't, then no big deal. So here I'm kind of gluing down that doily. But if you guys have used doilies, you know, they got lots of little holes, so it's hard to add adhesive. And I had got that little adhesive runner from scrapbook.com as a free thing when you order with them, which actually I really kind of like that adhesive runner. If you're looking for an adhesive runner that I'm sure is a good price, I don't know, because like I said, that was like a free promotion. But I'm trying to think what I'm trying to say. Oh, so anyways, gluing the doilies down didn't work quite 100% as I wanted, but that's totally fine. Now, the title. I had all these different words, and I wasn't really sure, like, I didn't want, the word I wanted to use was that beautiful. There was another word that went like hello beautiful, but it was that bright green. And I just wasn't super crazy about the bright green because I do have that green tab that's up there now on top of the left photo, but I don't feel like it's too much to kind of take over the photo. And then so, but that adding the title beautiful, it would have taken like so much green. It would have taken away from the photos quite a bit. I did try to use that little banner piece that I absolutely love, but I wasn't feeling it either. No surprise there, right? So I'm kind of looking here at all the ephemera pieces, and then I realized I haven't really used any of the stickers. So I pulled out this sticker, and it's the little girl on the leaf. And I really liked it there. I liked the colors of her. I do feel maybe it's floating a little bit, but I didn't really even worry about that because I just liked it there. So I had that Love You Very Much piece of ephemera on there. Again, though, it was too bright pink. There's a whole lot of soft, subtle pinks on the pictures and the pattern papers I've already used. So to use that really bright pink was just throwing me off. So I put it to the side, and I actually don't think it ends up on there. The other thing you guys probably know, again, it kind of goes along with the circles. I did add that rainbow there. I decided to go ahead and use it. It looks a little funny to me sticking off to the side, but because it's on a cloud, I feel like it's kind of like secured there, or like has something to sit on there and isn't just floating. Right now I'm looking for that butterfly sticker I had lost. So I tried to use it on another layout and then just stuck it back on the sticker sheet, but it got stuck to my ephemera pieces. So this is one of the parts where I think the doilies were kind of bugging me just a little bit, because I tried glue dotting the middle of the sticker and then putting foam tape behind the wings. But I felt like the whole doily just kind of started pulling up when I did that. So it didn't work as much, but I still like it there. It is that darker pink, but it's a much smaller piece of the darker pink, so not worried about that. And there wasn't really a whole lot more things that I wanted to add to this layout. I'm kind of going back and forth here. So this is kind of where I decide it's just going to be a subtle little layout, although I do go crazy with my enamel shapes, but you'll see that in a minute. Then where there was the journaling section, I thought, you know what, I have a couple words here that I think would really help tie this together. It would give a third cluster. So I added a little area to this side, and I just trimmed off part of a doily and decided I'm saved. I put that other part of the doily back into my little box of doilies. I have a small box. Like I said, I don't have that many of them, but so that is going to be like a third little cluster area. And then the title that I add, and I can't remember if I add the title. I don't think I add it on screen because I wasn't going to add a title, but I ended up going ahead because I just felt like it needed something. And it took me a while to find a title that I wanted to work too. So I will give that just a minute and I'll talk a little more about the title. But at this point, I was just trying to play around and add things to the clusters. I'm really happy to have used some doilies, and I love how the layout turned out. I'm loving these sketches, and I hope Queen & Company does more. I hope you'll go check them out. I do think that they have like a referral program. So if I refer you to them, you know, hey, if you wouldn't mind letting them know I sent you. But anyways, at the end, I do add, and I don't know, it's a glitter foam thicker that is silver sparkly on the top and pink on the sides. And it is a darker pink, but it doesn't bother me because I feel like you only see like kind of a tiny bit of it because it's on the sides of the alphabet. So I do add that, which you will see in the still shot photos at the end. And then I did decide to, just for a little something more, which you guys probably aren't surprised seeing this either, because I mount a lot of my layouts with a border. I just feel like it really frames the layouts. So I'm going to do the exact same thing here. I took this petite print that was pink. There was no really light pinks that I liked from the collection itself that I wanted to use, so I just went ahead and got out this petite print, which another great reason to have the petite prints, or cardstock would work as well because you don't see a ton of it. I just like the Doodlebug ones because it matches the same Doodlebug colors, so I don't have to search for the right color. And so I'm going to mount that, just a small little border, and then I'm going to go crazy with my enamel shapes like I keep mentioning. I did almost mount it. Oh, I must have lost some footage because here comes the still shot photos, but in the end you do see how I kind of blew up with my embellishments all around each cluster, but I really like it. They're small and tiny and it doesn't really matter. So there's the title, and I apologize that I must have lost some of my footage, but that's okay. I hope you guys like this layout. I hope you'll play along. I know Grace started a hashtag digging through our stash series A through Z. So, all right, I will talk to you guys later. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day. Bye.